What's up, my loyal subjects? It's King Glarious coming to you, and as you can see, we are reacting to everything wrong with Pitch Perfect 3. I didn't see the movie, so I don't know. You know, bruh. Let me turn it up so you guys can hear.
In so early, especially from this movie. But when my imaginary girlfriend starts off by singing an incredibly sexy pop song, well, you know about the power of Haley Steinfeld goes from the front row to the back row, and a single Higgins character is sexist. It was funny in movie 1, it was overbearing in movie 2, in movie 3, it makes me want to reach through the screen and yank him out of the frame. Also, why is this documentary already in black and white?
I finally did it!
You got back together with Jesse?
No! At the Brooklyn Aquarium? Hello? That's tonight?
God damn, there's a lot of exposition that comes out of knowledge that all these assholes should already possess. Drone fish cost me my faith in drones and my faith in fish.
Shiny.
They look like they was all breastfed.
What does that even mean? Like, what does that even mean?
Lily can read out with me.
Wait, Lily was just showing time during the movie.
Can you fly when you're 8 months pregnant?
I don't know, can you? Where the hell are the documentarians during this entire Bart and Bella's reunion, even if they discount Mark Lucas?
Will we be going to second base with you guys? And then maybe a few days later, we'll go to third base?
Man, compared to this third movie of a trilogy, 50 Shades Free.
Troop special where DJ Khaled is going to pick one group to open for him at the end of this tour.
That was a lot of exposition.
Movie, pick a lane. Are you self-aware and subversive, or just a final note is a pitch-perfect metaphor for this franchise?
Artists you didn't know were Jewish.
Super racist. Like, so racist, I'm not surprised it's in this movie, but I am surprised it made me long for the Transformers again. But here we are, hating this lazy third entry into a franchise that has, let's be honest, always been at least 20% lazy.
I catch a grenade for you.
Holy shit. Fellas are doing what they do best, winning. What was one of the funniest side stories in the first movie has quickly become its most annoying. Yes, we definitely needed 3 goddamn during the footage of the van going down and help put me through college. This goes on for some time.
So we've never competed against bands that play actual instruments. What's the plan?
What? The first concern makes sense. You definitely haven't ever competed against bands with instruments before. But why would you then think that You remember when I sinned the movie for being too reliant on scatological humor earlier? Let me revisit that and give that bull 10 additional sins.
Everybody needs a little time away.
Strange. It's like this movie thinks it can't happen without Anna Kendrick's character having a love interest. Also, jean jackets. Jeez, there's more random hookups in this USO tour than the entirety of the Olympic Village. I know these films aren't known for filmmaking technique.
The Bellas!
I know this is supposed to increase the tension because the Bellas have to follow Evermoist, but seriously, who designed this show? Would an a cappella group, even a great one, ever close a show after a loud-ass rock band and an energetic hip-hop and half the brunette girls in the entire world? Honestly, singing ability or not, this mostly male military crowd should be boner cheering this all-hot female group of singers just on sheer hormones alone. This happening? These movies keep suggesting that large groups of girls in jammies are always hanging out together in one single room, and I couldn't find any evidence of this during my extensive research in college.
Should we be considering using instruments?
Do any of you even know that? Most of these gals dressed more prommy than slutty. But whatever.
Damn.
DJ Khaled is probably way too wasted right now to even care what you have on.
I'll stake it.
Okay, fun group goes to Europe, gets wrapped up in spy stuff, there's an older white actor.
For years.
I don't think John Lithgow's even trying to hide the phone that's transmitting his performance. This works. Last we saw them, the Bellas were going to follow
This, terrifying situation?
Haha, clever editing movie, but it's clear that Anna Kendrick was saying this to the director.
Oh, is that an AKG C24?
Yep, a $14,000 microphone. Just
So excited to see your show. It's just too bad that he can't make it.
cool. Let's add Aubrey's daddy issues onto the pile of plot lines I could give a about. You know how I'm always talking about how dangerous it is to candle the
Man.
movie has time for this. I'm sure I've been introduced to this character before over the course of 3 movies, but all I know of her is that she's inappropriately smiling during this entire scene, and that it's distractingly annoying. Because of the spirit of Christmas? No, baby news phone call. They have different military-themed costume changes. How long was that montage of the girls packing? Because it didn't seem like long enough to tail all this perfectly. You might think this montage is meant to show the passage of time and how the Bellas turn things around for multiple ensuing dates in the USO tour. You might think this montage is meant to show you DJ Khaled's gatekeeper guy losing interest in Calamity while falling for Anna Kendrick. You could even be forgiven and start paying attention to the Bellas. They trashed his suite at the hotel, and he was always checking his phone when they were around before. Like, movie's seriously gonna yada yada this entire development? Here now, the female lead and the guy crushing on her will somehow accidentally bump into each other at a pool, because a child really did write this movie.
Damn.
Becca, how beautiful.
Apparently, it's not beautiful enough for Khaled to break from policy.
Becca,
sucks.
And if I yell them loud enough at you, you will believe my bullshit.
It's a tough decision, I get it.
No, it's not.
It is.
Theo-splaining.
You can go wherever you want to go.
I've been out.
Cast that a beat of silence crutch earlier? I didn't? Ah, well, here's 10 cents for it. Dude, how does Fat Daddy keep getting into all these hotel rooms? It's not like he can hand out bribes and shit. He just said that his accounts were frozen. You have a movie that has time for 23 musical montages to add this tiny detail?
I know my father. I know his guys. Some of them I know, like, really well.
This movie went out of its way to suggest her dad left when she was a very little girl and somehow calls on Becca stowing aboard as a sudden hostage, then convincing the girls to sing a song is pretty ridiculous. But even worse is that Fergus just goes, F it, let them sing like he's goddamn Marco Ramius. For this franchise, I know is something amiss, you moron. Pitch Perfect 3, a good day to pitch art. Damn, they were literally a few hundred yards out into a bay. That's all. But it took them from the dead of night to bright-ass morning to rescue them. Jesus, they could sing at state fairs or jamborees or literally anywhere.
Crush it.
Okay? You crush it so hard that your nips tingle a bit.
Not only is this audio impossible, given that there's only one mic on stage, but it's also a giant you to DJ Khaled. Now, normally I support a giant you to the less talented. They organize this entire setup. Also, you can't see me right now because narrating is an audio medium, but I'm giving this movie a double bird salute with my toes.
Always give 100% unless you're donating blood or getting a...
Definitely had way more fun making this than you did watching it.
Oh no. Oh my god.
Time to drop a smash.
Evie, shut up and sit down, you big bald
I didn't know that I was starving till I love, like one
I love lamp. Do you really love the lamp, or are you just saying it because...
side of all of you.
Wait, what? Wait, that sounds wrong. Alright. Damn, nigga said he got shoes from a drug dealer. Alright.
Comcast. Not even visible in the shot? If acapella is your co-pilot, then what is God doing? Beatboxing? Who's the actual pilot? You? I'm guessing this plane crashes pretty often.
Is it me, or do we just take a left turn into Snoozeville?
It is not you.
I saw the sign and it opened up my eyes. I saw the
The female acapella group actually thought that singing Ace of Base would not end in at least one of their singers. It just projectile vomited bean dip all over your face, so take that. So far, John Michael Higgins and Elizabeth Banks have stolen this movie from the main characters, but we won't get to see them again for a long time. DJ thinks she's trying to become successful using other people's shit and making her own thing out of it. Now, I know nobody else would do such a thing. So this character is only pissed me off beyond belief, and I am really angry about it. Although character is Anna Kendrick, and I just can't stay mad at her. Unofficial, like, knockoff BU rape whistles? This kid is way into Star Wars, and that's fine. But what the f*** are Houdini posters doing next to the Death Star and ruining an excellent Star Wars movie?
It's a hobby.
First off, I don't even know why the career-driven adult Becca hasn't already moved to LA and skipped the college, even if her professor dad allows her to get an education for free. Second off, kid wants to do something parents don't approve of, cliche.
I'm going to the activities fair with my super...
You need to know is out on the quad doing the one thing their characters are known for.
The messiahs of party.
So 2 of last year's national a cappella finalist squads were from this one tiny college?
I auditioned for you that we will find 8 super hot girls with bikini-ready bodies.
Wow, super hot girls with bikini-ready bodies are sexist toward their own gender.
Damn.
But what can I say? I'm a quarter sexist myself. Ironically, I get it from my mom's side. Quidditch club, the bomb honor, all comedy style.
I saw you guys perform at Mall of America like 3 years ago.
Jesus, how long has this college a cappella group been a cappellaing? Also, now we're supposed to believe that this guy... No, she was standing outside a taxi when you were shamelessly air guitar in Kansas. More exciting track mixing.
Yeah, track mixing.
Becca?
Asshole dad just walks in daughter's dorm room without getting the go-ahead.
I can't hear a word you say.
Becca,
Did y'all see how she
who just happened to want her to join the a cappella group, and just happened to be in the bathroom at the same time. Cameraman fails at his job right now. Scene does not contain a laugh. Is immediately found boring.
It was cool, but it was all pretend. And
Here's the bad singer montage cliche. It's almost as tired as the woman who goes on dates with men who are hilariously unacceptable cliche.
Dedicated, you took the time.
Auditions is massively unfair to the rest of the tryouts because she saw this chick's boobs in the shower once. Why is this dude still here? Is it because he's a main character trying to be the female lead's love? Played Bella. Somehow Anna Kendrick was one of the secondary characters, and Edward Cullen's obsession would have made more sense. But I can see how you'd make that mistake.
ladies, gather around. Ready for a show.
Yeah, these guys probably aren't pop. This amphitheater and its party is located right outside Benji and Jesse's dorm room? I guess for optimal sadness?
Damn,
Does anyone here have anything to confess?
It was an accident.
You mean boning a troublemaker?
It's made famous by women.
Because what didn't work in the past will almost certainly work this year.
What are you doing? I'm doing horizontal running.
And yet, banging a troublemaker is somehow worse than this behavior.
I can see your toner through those jeans.
I'll leave y'all alone.
Star Wars, and Rocky.
I would have included Taxi Driver and Apocalypse Now, but I'm only going for the popular vote here.
Best scored and soundtrack movies of all time.
Wow, movie gives the finger to Michael Giacchino. Yeah. But on the flip side, Jesse would be excellent at criticizing cinema sins with that question people always ask us. Both of these characters have their place in our hearts.
When Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
right.
a
Cinematic reveal in history.
You said this line after The Crying Game, The Sixth Sense, The Usual Suspects, Fallen, The Prestige, Primal Fear, and a host of great cinematic reveals had already come out.
And you're mine.
This riff, I'm having a good time. I really am. But I still feel the need to remind myself, that I'm watching an a cappella riff-off in an empty swimming pool at a college for nerds.
Tough blow, ladies.
2 rounds. What a f***ing rip-off this riff-off is.
Breakfast Club, 1985. Greatest ending to any movie ever.
God damn it. You made this movie after such film endings as The Crying Game, The Sixth Sense song instead of this one? Things happen for a reason, dude.
The white girl is back.
That's super racist. Hey, just because you wear an outfit like the one you wore in Up in the Air doesn't mean you're getting an Oscar for this. You can't fool the Academy. Well, but this? Who's listening to this? And who would want announcers giving play-by-play over the songs? Also, packed houses? These are niche acts, but apparently they have the pull of Beck or 1980s Def Leppard.
To one day win a trophy by making
My laces, meaning movie is afraid to be anti-racist and pro-gay.
Is it me, or are those skirts just not working anymore?
Hey, f*** you, buddy.
To this year's semifinals, the Barton Bella!
Even though they sang boring and old songs according to the a cappella announcers. Hey, it's Discount Skinny Ron Jeremy. And Discount Donald Faison. Holy sh**.
Please.
$1 baby, you don't have to reference a specific actress.
Well, maybe he does, since you stated so clearly that you hate movies and don't watch them. Maybe it's a
Damn.
reflex on his part. You ever think about that?
Thanks for bailing me out.
There we go. It's because you don't know Becky like I do.
Is this really a rivalry? Early on, it looked like Bella kind of liked this DJ dude, and I don't blame her. He's pretty dreamy. But where the hell does this come from? What a douchey thing to say, even for the guy we want to be with Becca by the end of the... Was it all for the CPR gag? Please don't tell me that was all for the CPR gag. Jesus, this is the slowest drive to anywhere, ever, anything.
I hopped off the plane at LAX.
Unfortunately, this bus single show Pentatonics 1 and one part the end of Sister Act 2.
I got a new life.
Seriously, how has the movie not answered the question about how this group gets so far in competitions with their boring-ass act? Apparently, judges visibly show what pleases and displeases them, so Becca is, but how can I stay mad at her? Anyway, what an asshole. Take a look, fellas, because I can honestly say this is the most convenient bag noticed by a secondary character to advance the plot in the history of cinema.
Happy spring break.
For it. Also, movie gets a convenient out to propel the plot. You know, these are all pretty good movies. E.T., Jaws, Rocky, Schindler's List, Say Anything, Animal House, and even Slumdog Millionaire. Oh man, I just ate a hot dog too. If you're a Chicago Blackhawks fan, you extra hate this puke fight ballet scene. Lily is pretty much doing what the audience is forced to do right now. Now that everyone is kissed and made up, they may be interested in letting us see some of the choreography without massive edits? It is not. You don't think that's a problem? It's a problem.
Gone are those Bella uniforms, and this is all.
Also, I thought they didn't have much time to get ready for the Lincoln Center performance, but they somehow worked out 3 songs and all their choreography in like a couple days, I guess.
Won't you come see about me?
Damn, this girl went a long way to win the guy, but not the competition.
I have notes. What?
How do I?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this year's annual.
So hard to believe people are acting happy around a company owned by Comcast. Competitions are no longer televised? That seems like a downgrade, and makes this movie even more unnecessary. Is it legal to use footage of the president at some obviously other event in your movie to make it look like he attends a cappella competitions? Cause I don't think it should be if it is. And gymnastics tumbling. Shouldn't that be against the rules?
Florencia Fuentes, just earned your green card, Josh.
Look, I know what you're doing. You're being over-the-top racist for laughs, but this just seems dead for the editing of this movie. Yep, the Barton Bellas somehow transitioned from Pitbull's Timber to America the Beautiful in one single performance. Fat. There's no way this could have worked out in rehearsals or their imaginations.
Overweight girl dangling from the ceiling. Who hasn't had that dream?
Here's another movie that thinks fat girls are comedy fodder.
She showed her vagina. To the present.
Movie's entertainment news anchor is doing my job for me. Sequel about niche world of acapella singing decides to thrust them into the national spotlight via presidential performances and Today Show mentions, even though in the real world acapella would scare both of them off. Meanwhile, for acapella competitions, I'm not even angry. That's amazing.
The Bellas are
Then why
hereby
you sitting there?
suspended.
Oh no, now this movie can't happen.
But the truth is, you're just women.
Definitely not approved.
Where every 4 years, groups from around the globe compete for world domination. I'm sorry, I just feel like I always have to be on.
I can tell that Elizabeth Banks is having a hard time working with the director. Isn't she
Damn.
fun?
Just want to put you in a box and saw you in half.
Young Hannibal Lecter. Hey, that sign merely says the, bitches, the. Also, why send a note with magazine cutout lettering if you're going to use your own stationery and sign your goddamn name?
What an odd thing to say.
Fat Amy would be amazing at CinemaSins. Also, didn't we just hear Emily say gross when her mom said she was going to be her sister? Who thinks that's gross and then says something like this?
It's
always good to have an extra buddy.
Northwest. Somehow Emily and Benji will be a thing by the end of this movie. Don't kill the messenger. Bumper's back! Yep, they brought this guy back for the sequel, because he's why you love the original, right? German pentatonic.
Say, Jelly.
Yes, this is indeed an a cappella group standoff. I'm legitimately surprised they're not literally singing Jets and Sharks right now.
You are the kicker of ass?
Why does every one of these secret second wife like that? A cappella group practice montage begins with cat-crawling ass exposure, instead of singing. How much fluff is in this movie? At most, this should have been an 80-minute cash grab of a sequel, but it's nearly 2 hours, probably for the very reason I know. It really doesn't matter what you do to these Christmas songs, it still sounds like everything else. But this will be considered genius, no doubt. Once again, this girl demonstrates remixed Jedi powers so strong she should already be in the music business instead of I was not invited to. I'm beginning to think this is intentional.
You know, this sets women back like 30 years.
Yep, and also that you joking about that does not remove the blatant sexism of this scene. I'm always conflicted when I see an actor in a movie who would rip this kind of to pieces as a playoffs.
A $42,000 gift card to Dave & Buster's!
So, nothing then? Movie thinks I'll overlook repetition of the empty pool sing-off from the first movie if it dresses it up in some kind of Zoolander to let down the Bellas by putting work over the World Championships. The main conflict of the movie hasn't even happened yet. What the f*** am I watching?
Green Bay Packers!
This won't be the last time the Green Bay Packers hear this. I don't see how you think that What's Love Got to Do with It has anything to do with John Mayer, but let's rewind for a second. What does 1,000 is it, Becca? This is supposed to be funny a second time in 30 seconds.
Hey, it's Jesse. Text me.
Hey, it's me.
Reggie, because that's funny. By the way, are we still dating? We spent more time together in the last movie. I've spent more time on screen together than Becca and Jesse.
I'm a free-range pony. They can't be tamed.
Is it in this girl's contract that she improvise all her lines poorly? Becca's expression, one so disgraced in the media earlier, is allowed on stage in the first place. Also, did they even practice this? I thought Becca was so obsessed with her career she didn't even get around to creating the set, but apparently she did just enough to pull off a show, even if it ends up failing spectacularly.
Goes to college.
Is it?
Ah, so there's a voice of reason in this broadcasting team? The one talking about green cards earlier?
There's only one thing for us to do.
Glitter paint? Do you think maybe we could try that again? Sure. Has no one else asked this girl out yet? God damn it, they brought back this chick too, because it isn't so much a movie as it is a reunion special. Also,
Yes.
I'd like to see how this scene would have played if it was Seth Rogen lying next to it.
I just need some help getting it out. Can you sing something? The pipe's a bit blocked.
Most worthless team-building exercises in the history of ever. They actually paid money to come out to a retreat center to sleep in a tent and walk past each other on a log.
Then his number came up and he was gone with the draft.
Seriously, this movie, the recording studio earlier, this could be one of the biggest messes I've ever seen on film. And I saw Terminator Genesis. This isn't team building. This is just regular fun. This is a Devin Supertramp video. What the f***? I think these actresses just got together. I would have asked it several hours ago.
You've been lying to us for the entire year, and now—
Skip.
Seriously, this whole place is like full of booby traps.
While I agree this is a retreat,
Serious? Yeah?
sometimes even a good movie moment gets obscured by cleavage. I mean distractions. I mean boobs.
I will try to re-enter this country, but I will probably die at sea.
Immigration issues are hilarious. No, seriously, was that Becca wasn't paying much attention to the group when they were in disarray. Kind of like the direction of this movie, actually.
Really misjudged the size of this lake.
Why didn't she just walk around the lake?
My question is, how did everything work? This is considered good enough to be something.
Good job, Reggie.
See, now I'm pissed. This is considered funny enough to happen a third time. Now I've got to dissect this recurring joke and wonder how the guy can remember the same map search of a place.
Can we go visit Hayden Christian Anderson's house?
Well, that's a stretch of a name swap. Why not Hans Gruber Anderson, or Christian Grey Anderson, or even Pamela Christian Anderson? If every hardcore a cappella fan in the world showed up in the same...
In the Philippines myself.
Not surprising.
Very interesting young men.
Skip.
No one cares about the Korean group.
That's racist, goddammit. Extremely So, movie gave more screen time to Clay Matthews and the Packerettes than it did to Pentatonics. All the various world teams in this montage are singing in the same key and using the same exact bass line. I know you have a montage to create, but damn, can we keep a little...
The little one was spicy.
You guys are dead to me. Oh yeah, she has a boyfriend, and he's here? In whatever non-American place this is taking place in? All these groups have digital media background pieces? Is that part of the judging? How is Haiti supposed to compete if the judges are taking more than just the singing into account?
This could be the most significant...
Where over months and months, but I didn't even get to see a montage. Not one montage! Climactic winning a cappella singing routine opens with 30 seconds of snapping and clapping.
Looks like the Barton fellas are being joined...
Flashlight? Getting me through the night? Is this the most cliche pop song?